satisfied. But Angie, you can't say we never tried. Hey, what's up YouTubers? Lee John Blackmore here at Super Easy Guitar. So this week we're doing Angie by the Rolling Stones. I'm going to simplify it for you guys so it's much easier to play. Let's zoom in and get straight into it. So we're going to start off with a little harmonic up here. You don't have to do this, but that's what happens on the record. Now I'm not going to play exactly the same as how it is on the original recording, because if you watch the guys live, they always play it a little bit differently, okay? So the harmonic is over the 12th fret. Now over, not on the 12th fret like we normally play, like between, it's over. And if you don't know how to do a harmonic, you just touch over the fret, pluck, and remove your finger and it'll still ring out. And in fact the harmonics work beautifully anywhere over the 12th fret there, okay? And then leave that ringing and play your A minor there. Then all I'm doing there, so I'm doing a basic rhythm, okay? Down, 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 up, up, down, up, up, down. But what I'm going to do then, I'm going to put the pinky on this top E string on the 3rd fret. So really slowly. So you can do down up there or 2 ups. It doesn't really matter, okay? We're doing this kind of free time. So we're not restricting ourselves to, you know, like a tempo, if you like. So I am playing it differently. Like I said, if you watch the guys live, it's different every time, okay? So I'm not going to get down into the nitty gritty, so to speak. So we've got... So that's going to be the next bit, and I guess there's an E7 here. It's kind of an E7 shape. And what we're doing, we're putting our first finger on the 3rd fret on the B string, 2nd finger on the 4th fret on the G, and we're plucking the E, G, B, top E, B, G. And then you see me put my thumb over here on the 4th fret and just hitting those top 3 strings. So I'm plucking the 4th fret on the bottom E and hitting those strings. Now if you can't use your thumb, of course you can use a different finger. So here I've got my 1st finger on the 3rd fret, my 3rd finger on the 4th fret on the G, and then I'll use the 2nd finger to play that note there. It's exactly the same, okay? It's just a different way of doing it. So back to the beginning. So I guess then we're going over to this chord. And yes, G, suspended chord. So we've got that, and what I'm doing now, I'm putting my 3rd finger on the 5th fret on the D string, my pinky 5th fret on the G. Then I'm doing a little bar with my 1st finger, and I want to cover these top 2 strings. Now if you want to move your bar finger further over, it's no big deal. Just make sure you just start from the D string. Okay, so that's our next one. So I'm going from the G, down, down, up, down, and then I'm changing that to an F, okay? Just a standard F. Let's go back to the beginning. So then you can see I'm going over to like this C shape. So we've come from the F. Now the timing is slightly different here on the original recording, but don't worry too much about that. I've simplified it just to make it work for you guys. Now I'm not going to go through the individual picking because it's something I don't do, and it's something Keith Richards doesn't do. He kind of plays it different every time, so this is just to keep it nice and simple for you guys, all right? And then what I'm doing here, I'm from the F shape, I'm moving like over to a C shape, but then with my pinky on the 3rd fret on the D string. So I can play that C chord and then remove the pinky, and that exposes the C. And if you remove the 2nd finger, you get that nice. So off, 2nd finger off, and 2nd finger back on. So that's just a C shape. Put the pinky on the D string, remove the pinky, remove the 2nd finger, and pop it back down, okay? So get used to this because, it happens quite a lot. Sometimes you see I just play that, plant that note on late, okay, which is just the E. You don't have to do that. Sometimes I hear Keith Richards doing this kind of thing as well. So after I've done that, exposed that F, do a down up there, move the chord, okay, and then we're on the C. Now then there's this Angie, obviously. So all we're doing there, that's that classic kind of rundown from C to A minor, right? And all we're doing, we're dropping this C note here down to B, okay, and I'm just plucking the A, D, G, D, moving the 2nd finger over to the A string. Then you've got the beginning of the next section, okay, and that's where the verse comes in, right? So we got this, so let's go from the beginning. Okay, so you see, sometimes I fill in the gaps with just an extra down up or picking a random note here. It's just whatever sounds comfortable, okay? And just to keep things flowing. There's no wrong or perfectly correct way of doing this. It's just a feel, okay? And when you start singing it, you'll get to understand it a little bit more. So after this A minor, Angie. So all that is there. Now you hear me sliding it. It's just I'm being lazy, I guess. So all I'm doing, I'm covering the B and top E string, 5th fret, then the 3rd fret, and finishing off on the G string on the 5th fret, or and I'm going over to an E7 there. So if you don't know what an E7 is, normal E, remove the 3rd finger, and it's nice to add that pinky on later on the B string at the 3rd fret, okay, which is just the D. So, Angie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, up, down, up, down. Now when I'm going into that E7, I'm just doing this random picking, da 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 da. Then I'm strumming down with the pinky on. Doesn't really matter which strings you hit, just it's all about the timing, okay? So just do it really slow. Over to G. Now you see what happens there, right? So after we've done the G, we go back to that F with the pinky on the 3rd fret and play that section again. And over to the C and the same thing, okay? So if we go from the Angie, Angie, when will those clouds all disappear? So you can do that little drop down from C again. And G, same again. And G, where will it lead us from here? Now don't do a rundown here because then we're going to go into the chorus. With no loving in our souls and no money in our coats. Okay, so that's just a G. With no loving, so strum on loving. Down, 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 up, up, down, up, down. D minor. Down, down, down. A minor. Don't get too wrapped up in the rhythm, it's just trying to feel it through. If you're learning to sing and play it, with no loving in our souls and no money in our coats. So you could do all in downstrokes if you're learning to sing and play it, okay? I always say in all my videos, keep it as simple as possible when you're learning it, okay? So G, with no loving in our souls and no money in our coats. C, you can't say we're satisfied. So yeah, C, F, G. And then guess what? And G, and G. You can't say we never tried. Sorry. Losing the plot here. Now that's pretty much the song all the way through, so that it's just a case of printing out the lyrics, bringing them up and playing along with it, okay? And if you watch the live footage, you'll see Keith Richards, you know, when he does a G, he might do all these little added bits, so you know, you'll add that C in there, and then he might go up to the different sections here and play different voicings, but actually what's going on in the background is pretty much the same thing, okay? Now don't get too wrapped up in the picking, don't try and get too wrapped up in the rhythm, it's just kind of play through the chords nice and slow. You don't even have to do this. You don't have to do that, so you can just sit on it, okay? And G, and G. When will those clouds all disappear? You don't have to do any of the fiddly bits. And G, just keep it simple. A minor, G, where will it F us from here? get the idea, right? So you don't have to put the fiddly bits in. But I think in this case, just add in those extra little bits at the beginning. It makes it feel more like the song. So when you get comfortable, yeah, it's a bit scruffy, don't worry about it. Okay, just enjoy and play along. Let me know how you get on. I always love to hear from you guys, okay? So there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's lesson. Please don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to receive these lessons every week. There's some links below for t-shirts, Spotify playlist I've done, Instagram and all the rest of it. So check that out as well. And I'll see you again the same time next week.